trying to bring peace.
What
the
was
middle.
Yashna's reasoning behind her no? Like
Up till today, we don't know.
okay.
Are you
We
guys
don't
cool
know.
though?
Wait, ngizokutshela
I
indaba.
listen,
Hey,
over
let
now.
her cook.
Come with it. Come with it. Because I'm like, come on.
So Miss Andy and Yashna have a fallout, and I get caught in between this.
Hey, yo, what's good? And welcome to another episode of TMM Buffet, to episode 3. You know what it is, the Media Meltdown. And we're always bringing you dope talent, Buffet. My name is Benson Strax. And I don't move alone, Buffet. To manje nani nyazi ngiphethe uMadlamini
Uphethe
wenu.
Feto Queen, Umadlamini Wenu. Hi. It's so good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
been a while.
It's great being back, and we are not alone in studio today. I'll first give out a shout out to Chad, who's behind the camera and behind the microphones.
Yeah. Making sure everything is smooth.
Making sure everything is smooth. And we've also got Lex Lafoy. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yes.
So are you, right?
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked. You know, like, again, it's one of those, we've been talking about it, you know what I mean? But Lex, you know, guys, if you didn't know, Lex, rapper, writer, community development specialist. Yeah, one J, the bomb, the whole thing is there. But guys,
A wholesome hun.
yeah, full of talent, you know. But we're gonna unpack, we're gonna talk. Lex, asiqale nje la, hamba kanjani nje kuwena? How you doing?
I'm right. So nice to be with you guys. I mean, I haven't seen Bianca for a minute.
Yeah.
We used to be in DYR
Together,
together. You know, so Dub Youth Radio alumni in the house.
Yes.
And yeah, man, I last saw you when we were in studio with
Yeah,
Zandra.
yes.
Getting some of the recording done for the Lexicon 2.0 project.
Yes.
So it's really nice to be here, to be with you in the space. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, shout out to you, man, for coming through. You know what the thing is with Lex, like when I was going through like
Yeah.
the bio and everything, it's just a whole lot of work.
You
You know? So
She's been
you
working.
know, she's been working, and it's crazy to come across one where it's like she was born here on this day, you know. That wasn't there. So for me, that's where I want to start. I want to start at like, actually, so you are from Durban.
Yes, I am
Specifically
a Durban
Lapi.
girl.
Lapi
A
specifically.
Durban girl.
Yeah, where about, like, specifically?
Cool. So I landed on Earth at at Eddington Hospital
Really?
Okay.
on South Beach.
Yes.
And I grew up as a kid, I grew up in Treasure Beach,
Okay.
which is
Bluff.
Yeah, it's on the hillside next to Bluff. My dad is from Wentworth. My mom originally from Wentworth, and then we moved to the Treasure Beach side with my grandparents. And I lived there. We lived there as a family till about 9. And then my mom got married, so I moved with her. We were in Asherville, we were in Overport.
Okay.
Eventually, my mom settled in Greenwood Park. My grandparents are in Durban North. And growing up, I would be between my mom's house, my grand's house. Sometimes, or at a certain time, I stayed with close family friends, like a family auntie vibe. But she had lots of daughters.
Yeah.
And we were going to the same school.
Okay.
So yeah, I've moved around a lot as a child. My grandfather is a pastor and community leader, so
Oh, that's
we
where you
always
get it
grew
from.
up. Yeah, the people,
Mm.
love the people,
Yeah.
and there were always all different types of people in our home
Yeah.
growing up. You know. Oh yeah. Thank you.
I.
Thank you. So yeah, I grew up in all different places in Durban, but originally Treasure Beach in the south, then later moved to the north. Yeah.
The north.
North side is the best. I'm also from Greenwood Park. Well, from Effingham, which is like Greenwood Park vibes.
No wonder you're so dope.
Yes. North side is the best. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like, Lex, with you, I know, would see the core of your brand is it was battle rap. You were actually a battle rap MC or FMC, but same thing, MC FMC. You know, so like, how does it start for you, Uzi? You go straight into the battle rap. You know, most people nowadays would kind of like, you know, record music.
Yeah.
It's like the place to start. You know, when with you, how do you get into like this girl that's moving around? How does she get into, you know, battle rapping and all those hip hop conflicts?
I'd love to paint the picture for you of that, you know, that specific moment, that specific day, that era. So I was in matric at Northlands Girls High.
Yeah.
And it was around mid-year, and my mom had kicked me out of the house because I was just
What did you do, Lex?
I wasn't listening. I was being a teenager.
Yeah.
So my mom kicked me out the house. She sent me to live with my dad, who's also a pastor.
Ooh,
And
hectic.
yeah, that was the punishment.
Yo,
You can't do anything.
that's one hell of a punishment, bro. Like, how do you beat that one?
And
Yo,
And my dad is super strict.
yeah, I can imagine.
So, you know, she's like, "You're gonna live with your father." So I went to live with my dad in also who lived in Treasure Beach at that time.
okay.
And my dad is very family oriented. Like even though I was 16, turned 17, I just turned 17, you know, like everywhere my dad went, it was him, my stepmom, my brothers, like it was always family vibes,
Yeah.
you know, like he wasn't gonna give you room to mess up.
Yeah.
And one day we'd gone on a family outing to Berea Center.
Wow.
I saw DYR, like the original Durban Youth Radio.
Are you serious?
That's a long time
at
ago.
Berea Center, like the very first
Yes.
studios. And I saw a poster there that said Friday night's hip hop show, Ndondoni. And I was like, damn, I have to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I have to. So I arranged it that the following Friday, I go to my mom's house.
Yeah. Because it's not gonna happen at dad's. I was about to say, it's not gonna happen
He
at your
was
dad's
never
place.
gonna have it,
Yeah.
you know. So I went to my mom's house and I was like, "Mom, there's this radio show, and I wanna go check it out." So I go there and Eric Coolfire Debe, who's a radio legend.
I've heard a lot about him.
He does a lot of story dramas on Ukhozi. He's a legend in the radio scene, the Durban radio scene. So Eric Coolfire Debe is there, and Swiss Cheddar Cheese. They were running the hip hop show at the time.
Sounds good.
And
Sounds like OG. Sounds very OG.
Sounds very.
and they gave me an opportunity.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I rap, I write, because I'd been writing from the time I could write. So I literally recited a song or songs with my A4 book, you know.
All right.
Next thing, we get phone calls as we're exiting DYR. They want me to come to the hip hop Ingaba sessions at Bat Center the following Thursday. So now I get into the culture. I go to Ingaba hip hop sessions at Bat Center for the very first time. And I'm seeing these people cipher and rap and freestyle and battle. And I'm just like, shell-shocked. I'm like, yo, like I only knew rap on the radio and on TV.
Yes.
Now I'm seeing this thing in real life.
Yeah.
It's hitting me, you know?
Yeah.
And at first I was terrified.
I can imagine.
I was like, firstly, there were no other girls there in
Okay.
like doing the things,
Yeah.
you know? And I went with my best friend, or one of my best friends at the time, Janelle, who's currently in China. She's been there for a minute, doing the most. So Janelle went with me.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, I was practicing with her on the side.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you ready? You know, like that Rocky moments. You ready?
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you.
She played the part.
Yeah.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
And I went into the cipher, and Janelle was actually holding me, dude, around my tummy, like from behind, like on some
I'm here.
sending love, vibe,
Yeah.
you know. And she's like, go. And I got into it and I freestyled and I loved it and I enjoyed it and I felt alive and I felt like, woo, this is relieving, this is releasing, this is fun. Next thing, somebody picks on you and then like you have to come back with words, you know. And I discovered I'm damn good at that.
Sure.
So we do that for weeks, for months, for years to come. We got a reputation being called the Eaters. It was myself, the late Deza, Deza Mkunu, who recently passed away. It was him, myself, VA. They'd call us the Eaters because we just battle for fun.
Yo,
Yeah.
eight.
You know?
Yo, eight.
And that was the culture. It was, you know, you asked why we didn't record first. I did start recording, but our focus wasn't the studio really at that time.
There was no time
Our focus was on
outside.
perfecting the craft, was on mastering the skill. You know, it was on being in ciphers, being in battles, being alive in this art and in this moment. I feel like that's what today's kids with digital really miss out on.
Yeah.
That community where like
Yeah.
you all come together, you excuse me, you share the same ideas, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I feel you. But like, I don't know, battle rap, I never actually got a chance to hear Lex battle rap before. No, I'd never, because I got introduced to Lex through like her actual recorded
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
you know, but like, it sounds very interesting. Is there anyone that like is kind of still in the scene that you battle rap that is actually still making music?
Or did she eat them all up?
Ended the career right there.
I mean, the biggest battle or the most well-known battle that I've been part of was the Scrambles for Money circuit that was run by Janai Grinnett in Joburg. And that was like the biggest battle circuit in the country.
Yeah.
And myself and Protista were the first female rappers to get on there. Unfortunately, I believe Janai took those off the YouTube channel, but I know they exist.
They exist. They're on the net somewhere.
They're there somewhere. You know, people share them when they need to. But don't get it twisted. Like as much as commercial rap is at the forefront, there's still a lot of battle circuits that are currently active.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I know in Secunda they were pushing, in Joburg they were pushing, at some point in Durban before COVID they were pushing, Sam Thurman and them were doing a lot. But I don't know now. You know?
I think the only one I know of, it's okay, Chad.
It's okay,
We
Chad.
understand. Whoa. Okay, now we
Chad's
don't
having
understand.
a moment.
What's going on? But like the circuit, well, like the one I only know of like now is these guys. I don't know if you guys know Shotgun. Shotgun.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he's very involved in the, what's it called, man? The
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
see battle.
Kasi.
What's yeah.
Hood versus Hood.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that space, but I think that space is not necessarily, you know, back and forth. Like, let's go.
It's come through, do your thing, and then the next one, it's performing.
When,
You're right.
when we were coming up, shout out to Ian Robinson,
remember Ewok,
because Ewok used to host the Bling Free monthly sessions, it was called Life Check and then Bling Free, and there were the annual all element battles, you know, for like a number of years, for like 4 or 5 years. And that kind of kept the culture together because there were these monthly sessions and then there were these annual sessions. So it very much kept the hip hop community together.
Yeah.
And alive.
Most definitely.
Lex, so at the time you were rapping and you come from this background, what were you rapping about? Because uhlala no babumfundis la, and then unoma wakho ngala, or like not ukuthi uyahlulega, but she's trying her best and you're rebelling though.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure, what were you rebelling against? Were you going through something? And then were you translating that into your music? Like, what were you rapping about?
That's a great question, B. So yes, I do get the rebellious gene from my mom, clearly, who's also a Leo. So
Call out.
I mean, so from matric, after that, 6 months later, I started my first semester at UKZN. I started in the middle of the year. And at that time, as I really grew into the lexicon persona, my mind was being instantaneously fed with information. It was conscious, knowledgeable, intellectual information. Like, as a psychology and philosophy graduate, I was just daily being fed information. And I wanted to share that.
Oh, I see.
And at the time, I was also going through my own spiritual rebellion, because being born and raised Christian, I got to a point where university made me question everything. It taught me that the habits, the intellectual habits of questioning everything. And so I made this decision to be like, you know what, I've been born Christian, but I feel I need to throw off everything. I feel I need to take off everything and wash my belief systems and take on beliefs consciously. I want to make a conscious decision to know and believe something. I don't just want to swallow what everyone is swallowing. You know, that's the approach I took in life. Question everything, only take in what I resonate with as truth. You know, and of course I did the research. You know, I was reading Kabbalah books. I was reading you know, Islamic texts. I was, you know, deep in the Rastafari movement. And somehow, years later, I find myself coming back to Christ, coming back to Christianity, because I feel that resonates with me. After I threw off everything, I still feel that, you know. And as much as it makes me mad when people hate on organized religion, I understand when people do it, because I also went through that.
Yes.
There has to be a time, even with culture, there has to be a time when people question the culture itself. There has to be a time when people say, does this work for me? Do I do this? Do I believe this because so-and-so does it? Or do I truly resonate with this thing? And for me, that's the conscious awakening that I experienced at like 17, 18 years old. To pretty, and of course I had the Red Hillers, my rap crew, that were amazing because we would share knowledge, we would share books, we would share documentaries, we'd be out ciphering, and the content was conscious, the content was intellectual, the content was higher vibrational, because we needed to learn something. We needed to wake up as young African people,
Yeah.
you know, at that time in our lives. And hip hop was feeding us. The hip hop we listened to was feeding us. It was giving us something we could chew on, we could feed off, we could learn from. Yeah.
Because like as well, like you spoke in an interview that I watched, and you spoke about like how important your crew was when you had your daughter, you know, just take us through that time, you know, just through that phase where, you know, you're 20,
Yeah.
your daughter comes through, you know, now you've got to pick and choose, you know, like what was that time like for Lex? Was the doubt there? Was the should I quit and, you know, go get a 9 to 5? What was it like for you?
Quit what? Hip hop.
Yeah, just like music.
Oh.
Because like think about it, you know,
You have a kid.
You got a kid now, so you
Yeah.
gotta make decisions that are kind of like
Okay.
a lot more understood, I guess, you know, by people. Yeah.
More adults.
Yeah, that type of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was a very important transition for me. As a woman, as a mother, as a person. I was 20 when I became a mom, you know, so that was a really, really young age.
Yeah.
And I would be at gigs, I would be performing up until 9 months, dude. Like I would
You
be
are
on,
lying.
like, Jayla, I would be on stage.
Crazy.
I would be on stage with a huge, huge belly.
That's
And
like
come
your
10
boy.
o'clock, I was finished tired, or I was like starving, you know, and they might judge me, but you know, I had done my research about, because I was introduced to ganja for spiritual reasons.
It's 2024. If someone's
So-
gonna judge you about that, I mean,
They've got nothing to do.
I did all my research,
Yeah.
and there was 0 known negative effects of smoking ganja while being pregnant. So I would use it because when you're pregnant, you get constipated a lot.
Yeah.
It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I would use it medicinally, and it helps. It helps a lot. So we'd be ciphering, I'd be blazing. Next thing, it's like 10, 11 o'clock. I've got munchies. I need to eat. I'm tired. My back's sore, you know? But I mean, my baby was with me through the process. She was on the stage. She was in university. She was there. She was absorbing and hearing everything, you know? So when she comes out and A students, I'm like, okay, girl, you're going to get it started. But yeah, when my daughter was born, it was December. It was the 31st of December. So
She was born on the 31st.
on New Year's Eve, yeah. So like being in hospital for those 3-4 days, it felt like I was in some sort of
trance.
yeah. It didn't feel like I was on this earth. It's like I've been called to bring this human in. I'm gonna return to the world when it's my time. You know, and the moment she turned like 3-4 months, I didn't know any better. I would strap her onto the tummy and I'd be back at the ciphers, you know?
Oh,
That is
this
gangster.
child. I love her already.
Gangster.
My God.
Oh, that's so dope.
I have to meet this baby
Yeah.
now. Like,
I know.
honestly.
With the pram.
Wow, Lex.
And, you know, until I had to learn that, wait a moment, this is her own human being. She has her own biocycles. She has her own moods. If she's not wishing to be at the ciphers today,
Yeah.
she's gonna cry, you know? So I had to really adapt to that moment to be like, oh, wait, this is not just about me anymore. Like, this is a human being, you know? So it was really difficult at first, I won't lie, balancing being a mom and being an artist, because already being an artist, you've got so many pressures from family, you know, especially Durban families.
It makes no sense.
Yep.
Even now, when people are like
makes
making
no
careers
sense, bro.
out of it, it still seems like it's very taboo. Like, okay, so then,
Yeah,
fully
there's
get you.
stigma, high stigma on being a creator.
Yeah, because you gotta go and be a cop, be a nurse, you know, fully get you. Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I mean, there was a lot of pressure coming from family, you know, saying, okay, now you're a mom, now you must stop this thing. And in my heart, I knew that my daughter chose me. That's the belief I run with. I believe that our children choose us. I believe that we agree to the life journey before we come. That's just my belief.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy, but I don't know, man. I think the hardest decision as a mom was in 2012 when I made the decision to go to Joburg for I didn't know at the time it would be 7 years, you know, and my daughter was back home and I would visit every month or 2 months, or maybe if it's a difficult time because I'm hustling, maybe 3 months since I'd seen her, you know, and that for me was like really, really, really difficult, you know. Yo, dude, nothing prepares you for that, you know. But at the same time, I knew that in order for me to lay the foundation for the career that I wanted, I needed to go there and grow and learn and expand and grow my network in the way that I did, you know.
I'm at that point right now. I'm at that
thinking
point
Josie?
where not Josie, but like I've finally like kind of figured what it is that I want to do, and I know the work that I need to put in, because obviously I've been exposed to the industry.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest with myself, I am going to have to leave my son. And it's me thinking, okay, maybe in a year or two he needs to go to boarding school, because as much as we like to act like we are heroes as women, we definitely are capable of doing it, but it's just going to take way too long. So I'd rather have him there where I know he has a stable environment,
Yeah.
and then I do my
Yeah.
thing, because it's
Yeah.
also really important as as a parent for you to chase your dreams. Otherwise, I do feel that I will resent
Yeah.
being a mother at a
Yes.
later stage.
Yeah, and like for me as well, like, you know, when you guys speak like this, you just make me, you know, just wanna cry. You know, just wanna but
cry.
I wanna just track back a little bit to
Yeah.
Joburg, right? You know, we were speaking off air, we speak about it quite often, you know, like artists, you know, moving to Joburg type
Yeah.
of thing. Where now you moved,
Yeah.
eventually had to come back, and
Yeah.
you've stayed, you know,
Yeah.
like that decisions keep on. Like it makes no sense because
Yeah.
well, it seems like it makes no sense. She's gonna
Yeah.
explain it.
It makes sense to her.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what was that like the decision to not go back? Like
Yeah. COVID actually brought me back to Durban.
Oh,
Yeah, like, okay, I'll be honest, I was in a really shitty relationship at
Yeah.
the time in Joburg in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really toxic relationship
Yeah.
with a narcissist. And, like, when I heard that they were closing, oh, thank you. When I heard that they were closing the country for those 21 days, I just packed what I could
yeah.
and I got on a bus.
I think
Then you came
Benson,
home.
Oh.
adjust that mic, like bring it closer to.
Should I move forward?
No,
maybe?
no, no. I
Okay,
think he
is that
can-
okay? Is that okay? Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah. So I packed what I could. I think they closed the country on the 26th of March, 2020, if I remember correctly. So I got on a bus on the 24th. I landed in Durban on the 25th, and I've been here since.
Yeah.
You know, yo,
So the decision to come back was based on the relationship and not the industry.
no, it was COVID.
It was COVID that
Okay.
brought it back.
It was the thought of not being able to see my family and my daughter that just like told me I need to go home.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those 21 days almost became 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have honestly died, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I would have died. The apartment I was living in Maboneng was one of those new age
Backpackers.
cement cold,
Woo.
like cold finishing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
And imagine COVID time, winter,
Winter.
cement finishes.
Full time,
I was
24/7
gonna die.
inside.
I was gonna finish die.
Finish that.
Like, God just save me, bruh.
Yeah.
I promise you. Like, and when I got back, you know, obviously I was also just healing at 1st. Being home was very helpful. I didn't have a place of my own when I first moved back. I went to my mom. I was sleeping on the couch, you know, and I was just healing, dude. I needed to heal from that really, really toxic relationship. And I feel like lockdown gave me that opportunity
Yeah.
to deal with myself,
Yeah.
you know?
All of us, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us.
Yo.
So true.
Yo.
So true.
Like, time out.
Yeah, like we had to hit reset. Like, and I think it was good for everybody though, like in that sense. But yeah, again, then still losing 2 years was it was a hefty 2 years.
Lex, I want to know something. You've been in the industry for so long, right? And you started off with the emceeing, and then obviously started getting into studio,
Yeah.
and you've seen all the transitions in hip hop. What do you think hip hop, like, can you give us a comparison of hip hop back then to now? Okay, firstly, answer. Do you prefer hip hop back then to now? And then can you give us a comparison according to you that was literally living and breathing hip hop at the time,
Yeah.
all the way up until now? What do you think? Because there's a problem. We have a problem.
We do.
guys. We do have a
I'm
problem
glad
in
you
hip hop,
know that.
yes.
I'm
So
glad you know that.
I'd like you to maybe like share some light, because
As the
you've
first
been
lady.
Yeah,
Yes, girl.
because you've been there.
Yes. First lane of Durban hip hop. What's up, ho?
Before I answer your question, B, I'd like to just go back a step to what Benson asked. So, what made me stay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So after healing and dealing, I just I felt more wholesome operating from a space with my daughter. I felt more grounded. I felt more at peace. I didn't feel the high-end anxiety that is normal living in Joburg.
Oh,
On the daily.
I wouldn't
I mean,
survive.
yeah. And I had to accept that I'd reached the place where Jigga says, put me anywhere on God's green earth, I triple my worth. Mother grr.
But the girl.
So I had to accept that, and it wasn't easy at first because I was fighting it. You know? I was fighting it. I'm like, but it's Durban, you know? How am I gonna flourish in Durban?
Almost felt like a downgrade for you in a
You
way.
know? And somehow God just kept on providing, dude. Like just kept on providing.
Working overtime, bro,
Kept on
Jesus.
providing.
Yeah,
Kept on
yeah.
and I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I mean, in the time that I've been back, I've made so many moves that I would have never foreseen. I mean, I co-founded. I was the trigger to getting Maliningi Records going.
Yeah.
You know, I was selected for the Business and Arts South Africa Cultural Producers Program.
Wow,
You know,
yeah.
I've
Was that
dude,
where you were in the top 100? Was that Samro?
that's too many. It's too
Alex is on fire.
It's too much.
It's too much.
For the Business and Arts South Africa Cultural Producers Program, I was one of 25. Next thing, NAC funding for Peace for Wentworth, 2023. I started Peace 4 and NPC. We did Peace for Sydenham. We did Peace for Wentworth. We got NAC funding. Then I got SAMRO funding, you know, that enabled me to do the Lexicon 2.0 project. I've got NFVF funding to produce my first film. Like, somehow these blessings have just been pouring in, dude,
That is so
since
dope.
I'm home. You know,
Yeah.
That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
What we do is saying, come home.
It's Zulu.
Yeah.
Kotwa idlozi is being licked by the ancestors. Girl got licked.
And the ancestors are like,
Girl
come
got
home,
licked
kid.
proper.
so there's something about, there's a special portion of blessings when you come home. I can't explain it, dude. Like, I mean, my heart is full because I get to see my family that I love so much. My grandparents are so much older now, and like, to be with them who raised me, like, it fills my heart in a way that I can't explain. Because when I was living in Joburg, dude, I would have nightmares about the thoughts of being called for a bad call. You know, and the fact that I'm here with my family, like, and I get to see them and be with them and treasure them, like, I can't explain that. Like, that is something money cannot give you. That is something popularity and views cannot give you. The peace that comes with being in divine alignment of where you're supposed to be at that time, nothing can give you that. Nothing.
That is so deep,
That
man.
is deep.
That is so
But I'm
deep.
actually backtracking.
Yeah.
2020 roundabouts. Then you also did that launch, right? What year was that? That's when I was really introduced to your music. There's a launch that you did at the Gin Society, remember?
Oh.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me correctly, you were very in tune spiritually. Like,
Yeah.
the spirituality thing was a major thing around that time. So I think you were busy tapping into those realms, and that's what also opened things, just besides you being at home. But I feel like you made a conscious effort because you were really she was in there with the whole spirituality thing, bro. I was
was
like,
in.
"Aibo, Kelly, kwenzakalani?"
It's weird. I have these seasons in my life where I feel like I'm kept closer to the spiritual realm, and then there's seasons where I must go play with other children.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, go do what we told you now.
Yeah,
You know? That was the new. Oh no, which album launch was that? New Old Daughter. It was the
Yes.
New Old Daughter launch.
Gosh, yabo le album.
I remember seeing you, and in the audience, and I remember you responding to exactly a specific line, which I won't say.
Yeah.
Why
yeah,
not? What's the
yeah,
line? What's the line?
Yeah.
I want to hear this. What's the line?
I was just like,
Go listen to the album.
yeah, go listen to
Yeah,
that
but
album.
I won't know what line it is. Like,
I don't know, Lex. I've never really like heard the rest of your work, but I can tell you that's the best. That's your best
Thank
work.
you.
Oh, you can't.
Honestly,
Thank you.
she even, and also the one thing that was crazy for me was because Lex and I had actually known each other for a while by then, but I didn't know that she was a rapper. We just used to meet each other like in studio. Yeah, bro. And then I'll do my show, we hug each other, I'm gone. Then next thing I'm seeing posters. Then next thing I'm being invited to a launch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
the crazy part about the launch was her performance. She's absolutely something takes over you on the stage.
That is true.
No, for real. Like
That is
it's I've got goosebumps thinking
Just
about
thinking
it.
about it, yeah.
Because I saw a whole difference. I was like, oh, so this is what Beyonce means when she says she's Sasha Fierce or whatever she calls herself. Lex has a whole different. There's
Like
a
an
different
alter
person.
ego, yeah.
Yes, there's a different person that takes over when she's on the. It almost felt like she didn't want to take breaks. There was no time for breaks in between songs. She was fired
Song after
up,
song after-
up, and
yeah.
the energy was so consistent, like throughout. Sorry, Mike. The energy was so consistent throughout.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
yeah,
launch.
I was
so-
really taken, and that is definitely, I don't know, maybe I'm yet to hear the rest of your work, but that I remember there were songs there that I really was like really fucking with. I was like, yo, this girl spoke. There was also this other one about the guy who paid.
That's the line.
That's the
I'm
line.
so good.
No, come on, guys. You can't do this to us and the viewers. Like,
To the album. Go listen to that.
okay, name of the song at least.
Okay,
so we
please
can
give
go.
him the name to the song.
so
I
we
think
can
it's the one where you speak
try
about
find
the
a-
guy who paid.
I think that one's is that not F It Up? That song perhaps.
Guys, I'm
Or
gonna go
I'ma
find the
Take a
line for you.
Flight. One of those.
I'm gonna
That-
take a flight.
that one.
Yeah.
So that album is so special to me because I was this was crazy. I was the first one to jump into Malenigi Records as the co-founder, and I was the first one to leave. Because when I saw what was happening with our investor, I knew that this is not fixable.
What was happening?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
like
likes the tea, yeah?
No, we have to get through this
We have to-
because I've had Dando, I've had Skindi, I've had P-Dog,
Celestial
I've had
Mike.
Teabag, Celestial Mike. I've asked these guys,
Yeah.
why? Who is this person that you're so scared of speaking about? Like,
I don't
nobody
get it.
is. And the thing is, you guys don't understand what it did for Durban. Remember,
just
everyone
that
was
shock,
so
like
excited.
that
to go
shock wave.
Wow,
yeah.
Maleniki, there's a record company now. You know, they're doing the things, and we were finally getting to see the hip hop in Durban, like, you know, getting its light again. And then suddenly,
Yeah, not suddenly, like the next morning.
the next morning, it's gone. I'm like, what is
Like, what?
happening here?
yeah, like just
Is
give us.
Durban actually cursed when it comes to hip hop? Because what is actually happening here?
Yeah, 'cause
what
like-
happened there, Lex?
Like
You don't have to mention names. Just tell us
Yeah.
what happened with the investor. Like, why is nobody wanting to talk about this investor?
Yeah, so prior to me opening the opportunity up to everyone else, there were 2 to 3 months of consultations where I would just go and talk to the investor. And he wanted to get to know who I am. He wanted to get to know what the vision was. He wanted to know how he'd make his money back. So for 2 to 3 months, I would meet with this man consistently until the picture was clear. And then I went to speak to Teabag because I'd come back from Joburg with the desire to create something united and strong.
Yeah.
And I knew that I could do it. If anyone could do it, I knew I could do it. So I went to Teabag because I saw that Teabag already had the studio, the circle of dope artists, the quality, you know. And I spoke to him and I said, it looks like all you need help with is the admin and the business because you already got everything else.
Yeah.
So then I showed him and the rest of the guys, this business proposal I put together. I'm like, okay, so this is the vision. This is how much money we're going to get in. This is how much it's going to cost us. This is how much we need to be making on a projection going forward. And we had started, and we'd gotten one of our first big checks come in based on the model that
Was that Hollywood Bets?
No, that was Mr. Price.
Damn, guys,
That was
come
a big
on.
one. Big
And
one.
then Hollywood
What
Bets
happened
came
at
in afterwards.
Maleningi? What
And
happened?
What happened?
What happened, Keegan? What happened, Keegan?
Hey, tell story. What kind? Tell story.
That's Lanka.
Tell story.
What
Seriously.
you want to know? What you want to know?
I want the sauce.
So, okay, so in hindsight, I could see that there were spiritual clashes that were not going to allow us to proceed. But on an earthly realm, I'll tell you what happened. On an earthly realm, the investor, who is a tenderpreneur, his accounts got frozen due to investigation. And I could see that the sacrifices we had made, like some of us leaving our jobs and stuff like that,
God.
it was not going to pan out because this investigation was going to take more time than we needed.
Yeah.
And I could tell that the wording of the contracts were becoming mutable. It was, like, oh, okay, we must change this. We can pay people when money is available. And me as the only woman and the leading woman, I felt what was about to happen. I could see what was happening. And I was like, this isn't it. As much as this is what the city needs, it must never happen like this. And it was the most painful thing, bruh, because, like, imagine I brought a whole lot of people into this
So
space
many.
to say, let's do this. Then next thing, there's things out of our control, and we cannot do anything about it, But I don't know, man. I feel like the breakage needed to happen. I know that people might not understand that, but the breakage needed to happen because I feel like the DNA of that was not sustainable. Because in that closeness, a lot of things came to the surface with individuals that people didn't know before. And then people walked away from it going, oh, you like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me, the hippie turned businesswoman, I always want like peace and love and abundance for everyone, But we can't go into these things with too much ego.
Yeah.
We can't go into these things trying to only say, what can I get out of it? You have to give,
Yeah.
And somehow I gave everything that I could give, and it still broke. And I know that I did my best, and I look back at Maleningi as a win.
Yeah.
I don't look at it as
As
a
a
loss
loss, yeah.
at all. To know that I could bag our first private investor and put together this thing that was showing its fruits. For me, I look back at it as a win.
So what was the chat when it was ending? Like, were you like, hey guys, did you sit them down and tell them, hey guys, we can't, I'm stepping out of this thing? And then what are they saying to you? They're like, ay, Lex, buenos pagile.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I
Is
apologized.
there beef?
No, there's no beef.
Okay.
I apologized to everyone in the group. I said, I'm sorry. I brought all of you in. And this is what I have discovered. And it's out of my control. And I'm sorry. And I went to, talk to Teabag about a few days after that. And because I was part of the contract drawing up, I could have that conversation about my music, and I could walk away with my music, which was in itself a miracle. You know how many people leave without their music?
Yeah, true. That is so true. Like, just just trying to keep your own music is a
Yeah.
mission.
And because
definitely.
I'd lost music before, like the
Yeah.
Lexicon 2.0 project, that is music returned to me. Because I'd lost music before, I know how that feels. And I prayed damn hard before that meeting with T-Bag. I'm like, God, you know I lost music. You know I know how this feels.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
work with me here, you know? So I had that conversation with T-Bag and I was like, look, man, I'm sorry. But this is where we are. And he said to me, don't be sorry. Everyone is an adult here. Everyone made their own decision to get
Yeah.
into it. No one held a gun to their head.
Yeah.
We all came into this knowing the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the industry. We won while we won, but it is what it is. You know, and thank God for T-Bag, because he helped me see that
Yeah.
and not blame myself, because initially I would have wanted to blame myself, you know, because
I think I would have also
Yeah.
like blamed myself if
Yeah.
that happened under, like, I've literally called everybody. I'm like, oh guys,
Yeah.
we're signing their parts, and then you get there, there's
Get
no
there.
food, bro.
No food, no
There's
DJ.
You
hang out.
I'll be here.
Oh, beef is.
Hayi ngisho cheese. Hayi ngisho tamatisi mntase.
Exactly.
Oh,
The small thing. Nyana nje.
Yana.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got
Y'all
something
did. Y'all
out of
really
it,
did.
you know.
Y'all
I
really
mean,
did.
we,
Yeah,
we
that-
threw an amazing launch.
That roster was hot. Like
Super hard.
Celestial Mike,
It still
Asopia.
is.
It
It
still
still
is.
is.
Like,
I think it did
Indie.
propel a lot of them
Yeah.
to how and where they
level
are
up.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did level up from that Maliningi thing. Yo, it was dope.
It was dope.
fire.
It was
Thank
dope.
you.
Yeah.
But in conclusion, we still don't know the true story as to what happened to
Exactly.
Mali.
She gave a very PR answer.
Very PR
and I'm
answer,
just
yeah.
gonna accept it.
How are we gonna accept it, you know? Because we've got so much more we want to talk about, guys. It's TMM, the Media Meltdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do your thing. We're on all the socials. It's gonna be here on the bottom, you know. But Lex, I really enjoyed.
She's running away from the question.
Oh, you were asking about
Oh,
the
yeah.
hip-hop from then.
Yes, we
Hip-hop
can
meltdown.
backtrack.
What's the meltdown?
We
with
can
hip-hop?
backtrack.
Always, I'm so reminding these questions. These guests are too silly. Fana bala. Bayawadoja nje ama-questions.
Don Louis.
Don Louis. Nangu manje.
Yep.
Puts no legs.
Yep.
Nah. I want to know from you, Lex. I want to know because you've been in the industry long enough. And you can maybe shed some light.
Yeah.
And also with the experience of living in Joburg for so long and everything, and just seeing how people are moving there, how we are moving here, what's still there in terms of hip hop, what we have or don't have, like,
Yeah.
share some insights.
There's a lot to say, B, on that question. I mean, there's so much to say. Let me try and delve into it chunk by chunk.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So, like, if you look at Joburg as leading the country when it comes to entertainment and the entertainment industry, remember Joburg is a very image-based, it has a very image-based industry.
Yeah.
So as long as you look the part, you can learn along the way.
Mm-hmm.
In Durban, we don't play like that.
Yeah. We want the skill. We want the skill.
You know what I'm saying? So with the image-based industry comes a fall in quality. And with that, you allow in mediocrity. You know, so we've got like this mediocre-based industry that's run by people who can afford the PR as opposed to the people that are truly gifted and skilled.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you look at a lot of people, not all of them,
Yeah.
not all of them, but if you look at some artists and some famous DJs, these are trust fund kids. These are kids whose parents say,
Literally,
like,
I see what you're saying.
here's PR, baby. Go make your DJ life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm behind you.
We got your back.
We got your back.
Yeah.
You know, so, oh man, let me try and say this. When I was like 12, okay, not 12. When I was about 13, 14, I wanted to get into politics because I have a love for people. But when I was 17, 18, and I saw the truth of politics, I no longer wanted to get into it because I saw that this is a game. This is not about serving people. A democracy is not truly a democracy. It only looks like a democracy and is called a democracy. You know?
Yeah.
So I saw through the veil of, oh, this is what it is. And I lost my interest in politics. And with music, when I started music, it was about the skill and the giftedness
Yeah.
and the love for the passion, you know, the love for the arts and the, you know, the passion for what you're doing. But like the more I see corruption creep in and it becomes about the money
And the aesthetic.
and the follows and
Yeah.
the aesthetic and not the real skill,
Your industry
I
plants,
lose my initial joy and desire to want to get to places, because once you've been in those places, you realize that it's not what
it's
it
not
is.
what it is, yeah.
You know, I mean, we were talking about it outside, you know. I mean, we look up to so many people who've made it.
Yeah.
But if you're a shitty person, have you really made it?
yeah. True.
You know?
True.
Like what there's this question that keeps on playing in my mind from when I was a child, and it says, it's actually in a chorus format, it's a song, it's like, it says, what you gonna do with this power, what you gonna do with this power? And this question has been running in my mind for eternity. And it's a question that sits at the back of my mind, and it's something that makes me think, because so many people want the power, but what are you going to do with it? So many people want money, but what are you going to do with it? You know, it's just a medium. It's just a medium. And how are you going to use that? Will you better society? Will you heal our nation? Will you bring us to wholeness? Will you call out bullshit, or will you run with it? You know, these are things that our youth should be asking ourselves. When you go to Europe, young people lead the protests. Young people lead revolution. Young people lead for reform. In our country, young people are caught with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
You know?
Why do you think that is, though? Like, is it where we come from as a nation?
I think it also
You know?
touches on Bianca's question of what happened to hip hop.
That's
I came
exact-
back. I
yes.
came back, girl.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm literally listening to this whole thing. I'm like, okay,
But are
she needs to come back.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear thank you. And now she's answering the
Yeah.
question. She's about to answer the question.
So, I mean, I think it's globally known that hip hop at first was a tool for light, a tool for enlightenment, a tool for consciousness. There was always room for party hip hop.
Yes.
You know, it sat at the same table. We
Yes.
gave it the same respect, because everybody needs to relax sometimes, you know. But I feel like the moment some of these execs and some of these labels started funding and promoting destructive behavior, that's where things change, you know, because they realize the power we as artists have.
Yeah.
And if we tell a kid to do this, they will probably do this. So, I mean, they realized they didn't have to just inject drugs in communities. Now they could inject promotion of the drugs through the music in communities. You
That's
know,
how powerful music is.
that's how powerful
Yeah.
it is. So we've got a change of an era where, you know, if you're pushing love
I
and
genuinely
life-
feel like my question's being answered right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, we've got
Change of
we've
an
got
era.
a change of an era. We've got a change in agenda. You know, for example, during apartheid, how people would attack the black family system was through migrant labor. You can come, but your wife and kids can't. You know, totally unnatural. Totally unnatural way to live. And nowadays, there are different ways to attack the black family. There are different ways to
Make
attack
the
our
women
youth.
feminists.
You know, extreme feminism.
Yeah,
all
rainbow
that
gang.
stuff.
Yeah.
Rainbow gang.
But
No L, no G, no B, no T.
The
no Q.
alphabets.
Yeah.
I mean, media is a medium, and it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And all I can say, like, to people out there is, like, boost your independent stuff. You know, boost positive messages however you can, because you've got these big labels that are promoting self-destruction and youth destruction and all these things and distraction. You know, like, people are on TikTok for hours at a time. You know, you could be drawing up a plan that can change our lives, change our country. You know, what are you doing with your focus, your intelligence, your tools? What are you doing with them? You know, so I mean, even me, I was lost along the path. You know, like I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the limelight. It's easy to get caught up in the numbers game. It's easy to get caught up in popularity. But I don't think our country is at a place where we can afford the luxury of total distraction.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford that. You know, I mean, we're living in a country with a governance system and economic model that doesn't serve us
At all.
At all, yeah. Yeah.
you know. What are we doing as young people to change that? Or are we too busy at groove? You know, I mean,
That's a chat. That is such a chat. That is a chat.
yeah, I mean, there's still real hip hop. There's still amazing hip hop artists out there, but it's difficult. It's difficult when you're an independent artist. You know, you're trying, but look, my message is like to myself as well as it is to other independent artists. Is like we can only change our circles radially. You know, like from our small circles outward.
Outward, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're not getting 1 million views. Like, keep doing your thing.
Chad.
You know?
True to self.
Chad and Bianca know about not getting 1 million views. Just keep going, guys. Keep going.
It for me, it also comes down to like, I think I said this in one of the interviews though, where I was just like, I don't give a fuck, bruh, what people will think of something that I'll say or how I look at a certain point in time, or Bianca, why she, because that's my journey and that's how I'm feeling at that time, and that's me being true to myself. I think it's actually more destructive for me to put on a certain facade just for people to accept a fake me.
Fake you.
When do I actually get to be myself? So I feel even if you take that and put it into the music industry, what we're seeing now is a whole lot of these kids glamorizing drugs. Some of them don't even take it.
Yeah. It's
They don't even use drugs. They can't afford the clothes that they're talking about. Why not talk about not affording those clothes?
Yeah.
Just keep pushing that music out, because at the end of the day, as you said, music is a gift from God.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a medium that the other side is now using to distract and destruct.
Definitely.
The devil. This is literally,
Definitely.
if when you look at the Bible, when they teach us about the Bible, what does the devil come to do? Kill, steal, and destroy. He distracts you and then destructs you. That's literally how he operates. So these big corporations and tenderpreneur investors that come in and they will tell you, I'm going to give you that's literally how the devil operates. If we take it back to basics. And if you think about your music or your craft as a gift, then you need to realize that you actually really need to protect it at all costs and keep it as pure as possible.
As possible, yeah.
Pure meaning rap about what you're really going through.
Yeah.
If you look at Tupac, Biggie, all of these guys that we know, Cannabis, whoever back in the day, they were literally telling us stories about what they were going through in real time. They were not glamorizing shit, bro. Like they were getting to stages where they were making that drop and they were, you know, it's okay. At some point, it shouldn't be the main thing. Because if you look at a gift, it's supposed to touch people. And the only way you can touch people is if you're really being real. If you really intend on touching people, it's by being real. And that's how you radiate.
Being as honest as possible to you, you know, like I think we had the same convo with like Don Louis. It was that. It's just like I feel like if you do you, you know, there's more of a chance of winning. You know what I mean?
That album you said you liked, that album for me, I reached a place where I was really, really honest.
She was very honest in that album. She was very honest in that album.
And yeah, some of it is like overtly ratchet, and I know even at that time, because remember there was the music I was making before Maleningi that got put on that album, like Nomtandazo, Durban Magic, I Dare You, that was all from BMS, before
Sure, I Dare You is flipping
Fire.
daring you.
People
It's
must see the live version with the 10-piece band.
it's a
the post
band. That's gangster.
It's on YouTube. It is fire.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out
should check
to
it out.
Tsepang Ramoba for that amazing opportunity. So there's those songs, and then there were the songs where those conversations were had on some, okay, you also need to capture this audience, blah blah blah, and of course, because I'm a Gemini, I have that side to me. It's easy, it's not hard, but also at the end of the day, one has to ask themselves, like, what am I teaching the young people? Because outside of my room and on this side of the screen, when I go out into communities, there are young girls, there are young people hungry for guidance, hungry for role models, and that's when it hits you that this is bigger than me.
It's not about you.
It's not about me.
Yeah.
And I love what you said about protecting the gift, because that's literally where I've been, B, for the last 2 years. Like, I barely go out because I'm so much about protecting this piece, protecting the sacredness of this gift, and I've landed myself in places in the past where there was just total unalignment, with the most pristine equipment, but your energy is off. And that's when you realize it's not about the things. It's not about the physical things. It's not about that. Can you go to sleep at night and you have peace? Or your family taken care of? Like, these are the things we have to ask ourselves. As much as we want to live in this entertainment world, people must remember online is not real life.
Definitely.
And
not.
everyone always puts like their best foot forward on
Online,
the internet.
bro.
Like, that's why I don't believe anything on the net, like, for real. But like, real quick, like, so first and foremost, congratulations on Durban Girl. Super visuals. Love the song. Love the story behind the whole like project. But let's start with the project. So
Sure.
it's Lexicon, right?
Yeah.
2.0
Hey.
project 2.0. But now Lexicon, you used to go by Lexicon,
Yes.
right? So this album story is super crazy. The music's 10 years old.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when you told me this. That the music is 10 years old, Just real quick, you spoke about like obviously the contracts changing, Kwimaleni and everything as soon as things started happening. And I know this particular project was archived through the fact that you were going through contractual issues, right?
Yeah.
Was that with Imalengi or
No,
was that prior?
That was prior.
Okay. So you were signed before that.
Yes, I've had 3, 4 independent agreements in my life. I think it's 4 independent labels I've had in total. Yeah. So this was with the first one. No, the second one. The first one was in Durban. But that was, I'll say for me, it was more play because I was like 17 and didn't have a full grasp of the world of
the
music
business
business
Yeah.
at that time. It was like, oh, we're going to studio. Let's get high.
I think I still do that.
But at that time, I didn't have a grasp of like the full picture.
Yeah.
So I had moved to Joburg. San Thurman, an amazing producer. Shout out San Thurman. He's produced most of the songs on the Lexicon 2.0 project. He and I were signed to an independent label at the time in Johannesburg South. We were in studio day in, day out. Ruby Gold was in and out there. Moonchild was in and out there. Menzi Biela was in and out there. It was a vibe, And somehow, because San and I were relying on this thing for like bread and butter at that time. I mean, I had some promotional jobs I was doing on the side, small work. But the two brothers that were leading the label, they had full-time jobs. And there was this clash in a moment where, I realized that the label and our work were not getting the full attention it needed, and I had to make that decision to leave because I felt like deadlines kept on being missed. And for me, at that time, I'm like, my daughter, guys, like, this is real life, you know? And I just didn't get that sense of urgency that I felt I needed. So I left the label,
Yeah.
and that's when I started working more with Ifani and Johnny Joburg. And when I met Duap, oh, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Duap.
yeah.
And when I said I'm leaving, they were like, okay, so you've got to leave your music.
Proper Joburg cutthroat. Proper Joburg cutthroat. I'm not shocked.
bro.
I'm not. Are you shocked? It's Joburg. They're there for the business. They there
Gotta
for the
leave
business.
your music.
Or you have to pay us something like 50,000 to recoup on all the studio time.
But even
You
think
know,
about
and
even,
girl was like 21 years old. What did I know about 50,000?
50,000 at that time. 40.
2012.
But B, we've all seen it on the internet. Upori, like you record at my house, you eat my food, I pay the
eat my
electricity.
food.
You know,
Sit on
the
my
song is
couch.
mine. You sit on my couch. You know, you pee on my you pee in my toilet. You know what I mean? So like I'm not shocked to hear
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But it for me, like what scares me the most is that like how young you were. You know, like you know that's crazy. And now after the 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years have gone by and everything. Now they've given you your music back because now.
Yeah, so
how does that work?
so what happened is San Thurman, the one who produced most of the songs on the album, he kept in touch with them, with the two brothers. Now we're good, by the way. There's
Okay.
no beef. Like we
Okay.
talk, we good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I understand that it was just business. I have that understanding, you know, that maturity to understand that for them it was an investment, and for these people to just jump off meant a loss of their investment.
Yes.
So I understand that. At the time, I did not understand it. At the time, I was a mess, right? I would be in and out of SAMRO offices crying. There's this one colored auntie there, I forgot her name, but like she would console me, and she was trying to help me, you know. But there was nothing that could be done, and so I think that was my first real moments of loss when it came to my music. You know, I'd never experienced that before, and that's when I transitioned into Lex Lafoy, because I felt like there's this chunk of music that represents the perfect median points between Lexicon and Lex Lafoy,
Lafoy,
and
yeah.
it was stuck in time. You know, and I couldn't get that out. And for me, it's some of the realest music I feel I've ever made, you know, and it was heartbreaking. So I remember one day I was walking with Johnny Joburg, Sipos Tole's son, and we were by the park in Parkhurst, and next thing, we're discussing my new name. You know? So,
Lex
like,
Lafoy.
Lex, okay, we're walking, Lex. Yes, Lex. Okay, definitely keeping the Lex part. He's like, why don't you add Lafoy? It's your surname. It's fly. It's a fly name. It's a fly name. Lafoy?
Listen, he was right.
He was,
Yeah,
definitely.
it sits. It sits.
It really
It sits.
does.
Yeah.
So,
So wait, Lex Lafoy is your real name in
Basically.
your ID.
Ashley Lafoy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Ashley Lafoy.
Ashley Lafoy.
Two together. Put two and two
Alright.
together. But
So,
like,
yeah.
you were saying you were still carrying on.
Yeah, so I rebranded, and about, was it 3 or 4 years ago? I think 3 years ago or so, San got hold of me and he said, I got the music back.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
what do you
Shout out to San, bro.
Yeah, he's
San is the archiver. He kept the music safe.
yeah.
Like, who keeps files on files on files?
San is who Diddy does not want in his company, bro.
He's keeping too much information. There's a paper trail. Too many paper trails.
No Diddy.
Paper trail is way too long.
I said Ninkinga, no, but shout out to San,
San
man.
is amazing. I mean, he's got the soul and energy of a rock star. he started off as a child performer doing kwaito, and his dad is a musician, so he comes from a very musical family.
Okay.
He's outrageous in his music. He produces for live. He comes from a live band era, so I like that he's uncontrolled.
Raw.
He's raw. You know, so yeah, man. Then 2023. Oh, by the way, yeah. So I heard we have the music back, and I knew that it would need to be polished.
Yeah.
It couldn't just
Most
come out as
definitely, yeah.
is. So in 2023, I applied for the SAMRO Music Creation Support Fund. I was one of 100. That's the one you were talking about. And they gave us 25K, which helped me a lot to just wrap up on some of the cleaning up of the songs, reproducing here and here, re-recording here and here, paying the necessary people, and yeah, completing the Lexicon 2.0 project.
That's dope, man. You know, I feel like Lex has got all the guap, you know, like she just keeps getting the money.
She's low key, bro. She's low key about it.
I'm quiet on the social media.
You gotta keep it quiet, you know. But I wanna play like a quick game with you. You know, I didn't tell you about it either.
Okay.
You know, it's just like something different.
So
you know?
you and Lex are playing.
No,
I gather.
well, we're all in it, you know. You
No,
can,
why do we
You
all
can
have to
comment.
be
We
in
just asking Lex. You know,
Okay.
it's a. Oh, come on,
Okay.
B. Now she's making me feel like I
I'm
left
a
out.
little nervous now. What game is
No,
this?
no, it's. I think it's something we've seen all on socials.
Oh,
It's
never have I ever.
It's just finding out who she prefers. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Bianca and the rest of you guys will decide what you want to call the game, but I think you guys have seen it around, you know. So basically, what we'll do is, it's two options. You've got to pick one. There's no in between. No drink champ styles here. We don't have alcohol, so there's no in between. That's the catch,
We
you
just
know.
have hope, love,
You know.
fruity, orange juice, refreshing like nothing on earth.
Water.
Refreshes like
It's
nothing
water. It's water. We're gonna get Lex to get us funding and all that.
Yeah, man.
And then we can do the drink champs type of stuff. But yeah, it's basically putting two people. You pick one, you know, one that you like. No in betweens, no in betweens. You know, so I'll start here. Sand Truman or Teabag.
One has to stay, one has to
One
go.
has to go.
Thurman or Teabag?
Thurman, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Thurman.
Wait, I have a question. Do you mean as a person or a producer?
However you wanna look.
However you want to
However you wanna look at it.
One has to stay, one has to go.
We should get alcohol here, guys.
Sorry, Teabag. I'm gonna say.
I knew you'd say
Sand.
that. I knew you'd say that.
though.
I knew she'd say
It's a
that.
tough one.
No, but it's hard though.
Yeah. But one has to go.
Because I appreciate them for different reasons.
Yeah, but you have to, like God is saying to you right now. Is it teabag? Was it sand, bro? You need
Which
to choose
one?
one.
Sorry, Teabag. I'm gonna say Sand Thurman.
Sand Thurman. Okay. Lauren Hill or Erica Badu?
Hard, that's hard. I wouldn't even be able to answer that. That's crazy.
Lauren Hill.
Me too.
Lauren
Wait,
Hill.
what's she doing? Staying or going?
I choose Lauren
She
Hill.
chooses-
Okay, yeah, I also choose Lauren for
I
sure.
do love them both.
Yeah,
but-
me too. But
I'm a-
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys seem like you would be more of an Erica Badu vibe, though. Like
No, I do
No,
love
no,
her.
I love her.
but
as
Lauren
well.
Hill better.
That's why I was
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
was very hard. But Lauren Hill is
tough one.
yeah,
It's
the
a tough one.
Yeah.
Ifani or Bongani Fasi?
You did your homework, this guy.
We're trying to figure out who you like better. Siyakuthatha.
I'll say Ifani because I don't know Bongani on a personal
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
Like, I've just had touch and go moments with him.
Mhm.
He ran in the house. He needed water. Okay, bye. You know.
Yeah, okay.
So I know Ifani longer. Yeah.
So it'll be Ifani.
I find
All right. Two Durban girls, Yashna or Miss Andy. You've worked with both of them.
No, that is a.
You've worked with
I plead the fifth.
Okay. One has to go though. It's a tough one, right?
I can't buy Ashna first.
You would drop Yashna
I'd
and keep
drop-
Miss
I would
Andy.
drop Yashna.
quickly.
You'd drop Yashna and
Yeah.
keep Miss Andy. I would keep Yashna and drop Miss Andy.
Why?
I don't know. Like
we all saying the same thing. We would drop Yashna and keep Miss Andy.
Oh yes, so yes, we're all saying the same.
We're all saying the same thing.
okay.
Yeah, we
Then
on the
don't
same
explain
team.
yourself.
No.
it's
I'm
fine.
no. I said I'm keeping Yashna and I'm dropping Miss Andy
Yeah, that's what he said. Why are you keeping Yashna
Be-
over Miss Andy?
because I feel like the longevity game.
I
She's
understand.
been in it. And she's doing it. She's dropping like year after year. So that's what I'm basing it on.
You know what it sounds like? It's like when, like, let's just say.
Why am I even
something-
getting involved?
It sounds like you're saying, like, oh man, yeah,
I know where you're going.
Bianca's beautiful, but Lex has some impairments, and I feel sorry for Lex, man. It's it's harder for her. Nah, no,
You know what happened?
nah.
You know what happened? You know the Aibo song?
Yeah.
It was fire. It was
Super
fire,
dope.
fire.
Super
We were
dope.
even talking about possibly doing an EP with the three of us. That's how fire the synergy
Whoa.
was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next thing, and Shamar's gonna laugh because I'll say he's the cause of this. Next thing, best so far. Shout out to Shamar, my production manager, when we do Piece 4 and a lot of other events. He's amazing. Also a Gemini.
Geminis
Next
are
thing-
amazing.
Thank you. Next thing, best so far sends Miss Andy a contract to say we're gonna do a live recording, like a live recording session.
Yeah.
And in the agreements is like, okay, we will own the publishing rights to this content, just a digital concert, which makes sense. So you still own the rights to your music,
but
but this
this
recording
thing, okay.
we own the rights to. And when Miss Andy put that on the table, Miss Andy, Yashna, and I were still on very good terms, and then Yashna wasn't feeling this because Miss Andy wanted us to perform Aibo on that recording. And Yashna wasn't feeling it. She's like, no, someone else owning the recordings. And Miss Andy tried to explain, no, they're not gonna own the rights to the song. Just this
That
specific
particular
digital
recording, yeah.
recording. And Yashna wasn't having it. Miss Andy was upset with Yashna. Yashna was upset with Miss Andy. I'm trying to bring peace.
What
the
was
middle.
Yashna's reasoning behind her no? Like
Up till today, we don't know.
okay.
Are you
We
guys
don't
cool
know.
though?
Wait,
Come with it. Because I'm like, come on.
So Miss Andy and Yashna have a fallout. And I get caught in between this.
Because of the same thing.
Because
or-
of this, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to level between them both.
You in the middle now.
I'm in the middle.
Yo, shit.
And I'm trying to rationalize with these two very passionate, gifted women.
Yeah.
And I get caught in the middle. So we leave, we drop everything. Everyone's like, no, we're not working together anymore. F this type attitude, So anyway, I leave thinking that the beef is with Miss Andy and Yashna. Because I thought I was neutral. I thought I was good. Next thing, one day, I go with someone who's recording by Neo and Yashna. This is like maybe, I don't know, within a year after the fallout.
Yeah.
And I think I'm good because I didn't do nothing,
Yeah.
Next thing, we go in the yard. Neo and Yashna, or Neo Angazi, speaks to this homie. Not even the balls to talk to me, bruh. Speaks to this homie. And the homie tells me, oh, sorry, you're not welcome here. I'm like,
Wow.
Who comes and tells you, Neo?
no, this
the
other
homie.
homie that I'd gone
Is-
with to the
Neo
studio.
wasn't man enough to,
That's
to say it
hectic.
himself, bro.
That's
in
so
his own
hectic.
yard.
So meantime,
What the fuck?
so when Yashna and Miss Andy had a fallout, I didn't know that in their books, I'm also the baddie.
Wait,
Like-
so now you and Miss Andy are cool, but you get to studio with Neo and them and you find out that you're not cool with Yashna as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
So
crazy.
they were like through another homie, not even to my face.
Yeah.
Which is
I can't respect
That's
that.
pretty
what I'm
rude,
saying?
yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
can't
saying?
respect that at all.
And someone comes and they're like, "Oh, sorry, Lex. Apparently you're not. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to tell you this, but they said you're not welcome here." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, that is crazy.
I think it's flipping dumb because
Yo.
Yeah, I
first
don't
of
have
all,
any beef with them.
yes, and even if you did, bro, even if you did have beef,
Yeah, tell me to my face.
tell me
Come
to my
on.
face. And number two, we're here to make music. We're not here to make
Yeah.
friends. Like at the end of the day, Benson and I could be fighting. We always tuning each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him give you our WhatsApp and check.
Yeah.
But when it's time to shoot, it's time to shoot, bro.
It's work.
It's
Yeah.
work, it's work. We're trying to push. We all on the same level. What do you mean I'm not
Yeah.
fucking welcoming
And
you?
the thing is, you can't.
Yeah.
That's so stupid because you're
didn't
there for
understand
work. You
that.
weren't there for fucking hookah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's going on in this yard?
Dude, up until today, I respect Miss Andy and Yashna for what the three of us did on Eyeball. It was a fire
It
song.
was fire.
You know, I don't
Definitely.
have any beef in my heart towards either of them. Me, I'm good. Like, my heart is light.
Yeah.
I don't like carrying heavy things, you know? But it just showed me. I was like, oh, okay. This is how people operate. You know? So
Very unfortunate
And
because they both so talented.
So
They're
talented.
amazing.
and
Even Neo himself, like
Yeah.
He's a dope
such a
beatmaker.
dope producer, and I'm just
Award-winning.
imagining
He's
a
fire.
collaboration in 2024, 2025, 2030
like
with
a sequel
Lex.
to the Eyeball, yeah.
Now he's literally closed that door because of beef that was happening between women.
Yeah.
That is bullshit. I
can't-
can't respect that. I'm sorry, Neo, when you see
He was-
this, but that is just some
He was
bullshit, bro.
I would say he was a part of it. I don't think he initiated. I think the person that initiated it was the person that obviously Yashna, you know, her being on a song.
Yeah,
and that's
but
where the beef
still,
stems from.
But still, as a guy, as a gent who is for his business and about his bag, because at the end of the day, that same bag is gonna help Yashna. He needs to be able to say, "Babe, I get that you're upset, but Lex is here for work. We are graphing. Finish."
But that's
and
what I was
graph."
about to say is that as well, it's that's the tricky part is that it's not just
Okay,
it's one of it's.
You know,
let
it's
me
not
just
Guys
say.
need to grow up.
Let me just say, it's those type of things that keep Durban from growing
Exactly.
as a creative industry.
Exactly.
Like, people like to be petty.
yeah.
That
There's
is
no
so
room for
petty.
pettiness. We have a city to grow.
Yeah.
We have an industry to grow. We owe it to the next generation to be as solid as we can. You know? Because
And
the
we're far
truth is,
from it.
if good people don't lead, these other people who are going to use these kids are going to take, go in.
And take advantage.
I'm really
Exactly.
disappointed in the story.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
bro,
Yeah, I
you're
have no
so
beef.
great.
I have
Yeah,
no
yeah,
beef.
yeah. I get that, but that also that was just the story that needs, well, not needs to. Shame, we didn't know about the
Yeah.
story, but it's great that it was told because we needed to address that thing in the industry, especially for Durban people.
Yeah.
Lento yokuthi une beef nomuntu ngeke usasebenza naye. That is bullshit. The fact that you have beef with a person should not now blind you to that person's talents. Imagine I start beefing with Chad and I'm like, I'll never work with Chad again. You flipping shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, guys,
That's crazy.
All
How
I
much
was-
time is Chad giving us?
he said we can keep going for a little bit longer.
Wrap up. Hey, he's starting. I
He's
shouldn't have
starting.
asked. I
You
should
shouldn't
not
have
have asked.
But like, so we are agreeing that we drop Yashna.
Oh, we still
And-
playing a game.
Yeah,
bro.
it was just a game.
Miss Andy. I choose Miss Andy.
You choose Miss
Yes,
Andy,
okay.
right? Wow, it was just a game. You know, okay, there's a few more to go. Two prominent female MCs, Nadia Nakai or Rouge.
Definitely Rouge. That's easy.
Ooh, definitely Rouge.
That's easy.
Why not Nadia?
Guys, Nadia cannot rap.
Thank you.
Aibo. I've said this before. Yo,
Nadia can't rap.
Hi guys, I say it all the time.
Nadia can't rap.
No, guys.
She can't.
I'm sorry.
She'll get eaten.
Do you know, before we started when we were playing your Durban Girl track,
Yeah.
I literally thought to myself, why is it that Lex can rap like this
Yeah.
and she remains, I won't say not upcoming.
You can say independent.
Yeah,
That's true.
independent.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Nadia. But before I could even finish asking myself the question, I answered it by saying it's because of the aesthetic. Just as you explained about Joburg and this and that.
And that's what's being sold.
And that's what's being sold.
Look,
She's being
in-
packaged
Exactly.
like
She's
properly.
packaged perfectly.
Perfectly.
But with her is so you would say like the rap element doesn't exist with her. I'd say like
No, it
Yeah, as a
doesn't.
brand, she's amazing.
she's amazing.
She's
but, like,
amazing as a brand.
but she
As a
can't rap.
brand.
But she can't
But
rap.
rap, guys, let's be
Yeah,
real.
no.
Come on.
Let's be honest. Rapping is another story because like we can name quite a few dope rappers. Like you know, we've
Rouge
got
is
one right
fire.
here next
Thank
to us.
you.
Yeah, you know
I
what I
am
mean?
fire. Rouge is fire. Gigi's fire.
Yo,
Yeah, man.
there's a girl in Cape
Mandisa,
Town, Blue K or
Mecca's
something.
Zulu Mecca. Zulu
Yeah.
Mecca's fire.
Yo.
But Nadia's not. I'm joking. Let's move on
No,
to the
but
next
she's
one.
not. But that is the truth.
Hey, listen.
She's just packaged really. No, at some point, guys, we need to be honest about
Yeah,
how the industry is set up and who's where and why
Look,
they're there.
B,
You know what I mean?
We have a low risk economy. We have a low risk industry in South Africa. Like, in other words, they will take what has the least risk. Whereas back in the day, like if you hear the stories of how people like Mary J. Blige were picked up, you know, there were people who said she couldn't sing, but then there was this one person who said, this woman has a gift.
Yeah.
You know, where are those people in the world today to say, I see this person only has 4,000 followers, but there's something in them.
And that's
Yeah.
because no one's looking beyond the figures. You know what I mean? And we
That's
know,
the problem.
We know that like we see a lot of people, you're like, this person's like super dope, but
Yeah.
just because something is not clicking for the guy with the cash, you know, you miss out on them like that. But there's a few more to go.
Yo,
Few more to go. It's three more to go. Biggie
Wrap
or
up.
Park?
No.
Biggie or Park?
we can go. We can keep
Those
going.
are both Geminis. How you gonna do that to me? I'll say,
Biggie or Pac?
I'll say Pac.
Park. All right.
Has to go.
No,
No, she
I
vibes
choose
with
Pac.
Pac.
Oh, Haibo. I was like,
You
hey,
vibe with?
definitely Park. What do you mean? Why would I like? Why is that
people-
even a question?
I
I'm
was
going
about to
Biggie here all
question my
day,
favorite.
every day.
I was about to really question you.
I'm going Biggie all day, every day.
It's okay.
All day, every day.
So you know
we
he was
can-
a pedophile. He's still going.
Ah,
No,
you
guys,
see?
you can't say that. We don't know. We weren't there.
And the man's dead. Let him rest. He took it to the grave with him. You know, you can pick on
we
Diddy or
don't
something.
Hey, some kids are not resting in peace.
We
He
don't
mustn't rest
know.
in peace.
You can
Bro
pick on-
was
you
a
can-
pedophile. He rapped about it.
No.
It's Kim Satidi,
No.
bro. Lisana. That's why it ended the way it did.
Uncle.
Ngiyakutshela mfana, inkoda nami angikhona
Bianca's
nginamanga,
starting stuff here.
nginamanga.
She's start-
Nginamanga, guys.
No,
I just
hey.
heard it somewhere. and I'm
it's
rolling
something
with
that
it.
went, you know?
Yeah, and I was like,
All right.
But why would you say that? Why would you say you like
'Cause people-
smashing little boys?
Did he say that?
Yes.
Let's get back to the game.
You're gonna
We're in
get
denial.
you're gonna get us cut.
You're like in denial. Who's gonna sue us?
Yeah, true. Who? Two Durban guys that I know you have a lot of respect for. Audio Sims or DJ Wobbly. I know.
That's hard.
I know.
That's really hard.
I know.
They're both so dope.
Super dope acts. Both super dope acts. But one has to go. Just one.
Wobbly can go for me.
Would you say Wobbly out?
Love him to bits, but he can go.
You keep audio.
Oh, we're talking
I
as
keep audio.
producers now.
Alex, it's up to you. What
up to you.
What's those cards, Alex?
I'm talking music wise. Wobbly can go.
Okay, yeah, I'll choose Sims.
Audio
To
Sims.
stay.
Yeah.
I would also say Audio
But
Sims.
Wobbly gave me one of my best songs in the world. He gave me Gold in This Mouth. Okay, Wobbly. For that one, I'll choose Wobbly. I
You mess with
revert.
Wobbly.
I revert.
You
I'm
revert.
choosing
Wobbly.
I revert.
because of Gold in This Mouth, my personal favorite song of mine.
Yeah.
I will say DJ Wobbly. But Sims has given me so many dope beats.
Yeah, no, Sims is fire.
Sims is fire.
And then the last one, two very dope up and coming acts. Tony Taiman or Usmaman.
It's my man, bro. What do you mean? He stays.
Forgive my ignorance. I don't know them.
You don't know who they are?
No. Is it I'm a piano?
No, it's hip hop. It's hip hop. But this is what I'll say. Let's not put too much pressure on the boys. We are expecting too many people to know about them. Like I've picked that up. A lot of artists get too much pressure because Basai prospect. I do get why you say
She doesn't know
you
you.
Also,
know what I mean.
I'm at that age now where I'm not really chasing the nows.
So So yeah, the part is funny
Dude,
check how am I?
The things that I'm listening to at
just
home,
need a
I'm
chick.
listening to gospel. Bruh, in my house, I'm listening to gospel hip hop. I'm listening to Halvi, the most higher vibrational hip hop
See,
you'll
now
ever
I don't
hear in
know
your
who
life.
you talking about. That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
I'm listening to that. I'm listening to like work jazz when I'm working. I'm listening to old school music. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't really been listening to a lot of current music.
Tony,
So
Diamond
so
is really
no
good.
no
And
disrespect.
Smamani, both of them.
Maman is crazy.
Both of them, it's I would say it's two guys that okay, I do kind of get where the sound stems from. Comes from like
That's
your,
the only, that's my only qualm with most of these artists
Yeah.
lately is that you guys are almost sounding the same
you're almost sounding the same.
as somebody that we
we
all
know.
know.
Exactly.
So I'm
But they've
needing
run
for
with it.
them to get to a point where
They
you
find their
find
own
your
voice.
sound. Yeah, because I actually remember even texting Usmaman and I'm like, is that your sound?
Nah,
And he
Bianca,
was
make
like,
sure
"Yeah,
she
but-"
texts you.
No, I text you, but if I have a problem, I want to know.
Name
like,
dropping.
I want to know what's no. And he answered. He was like, "That's my sound," and I like the fact that he stuck to it.
Yeah.
And look at him now. That same sound is taking him
Nice.
where he is. No, he's.
But
dope.
people question
He's
it.
really
people
dope.
question it because you know the baby as well.
Yeah.
He even says in one of the songs, people are like, "When are you changing your flow?" You know what I mean? So, but like I say, like I do believe like they're the future of Durban hip hop. You know, I know you are gonna go listen.
The future's
because
now,
you
bro.
are a big hip hop lover. You know,
Yeah.
but Lex, you know, before we wrap it up, man, we never really got to touch on Durban Girl
Yeah.
as a whole. You know,
Yeah.
before we wrap it up, like just what's your vision with Durban Girl? What do you want? Like, what do you want people to get from this
Yeah.
this music that's been archived for so long?
Yeah.
You know, like what's Lex like looking at when it
Sure.
comes to this body of work and this leading single at the moment?
Durban Girl, yeah, it was written over 10 years ago. The video's out. It's amazing.
Hot.
Have a look at
Fire.
it online.
Who shot that?
Directed by Slim Dog Millionaire God of Money.
Wash out, Slim Dog, never take out 1,000.
DOP Young Malo. He's amazing. Also a dope artist. Yeah, man. Durban Girl is... Look, the whole body of work is a promise to myself. You know, it's a promise to myself that when I made that music, I put my all into it. And I'm just glad that, like, the world can see it now.
Yeah.
Because I want, when people listen to the lexicon or the Lex Lafoy catalog, I want it to make complete sense. I want them to see the beginning and the end. And this, for me, has been like Star Wars, where the first episode comes out last. You know? So it's just, it's my 7th recorded body of work. 7 is completion. So in my soul, thank
Dope,
you.
dope.
7's a good number.
Dope.
7's a great number.
Big
so
work.
in my soul, I feel complete in terms of having put out what I feel I needed to put out.
Yeah.
Going forward, my new approach is I want to treat one song as an entire production. So there's a song that's bubbling in my spirits. Over the last year, I've been co-producing it with someone who's in, where are they? I think Cameroon. Yeah.
Yo, Lex.
So we literally
Hey,
been...
low key making beats.
So we've been literally producing instrument line by line by line.
Wow.
And that's the approach I want to take going forward. I want to create masterpieces. I want to also produce a gospel album at some points, even if it's not me taking the lead.
I know exactly who you should work with. We spoke about it outside, but
Like how Kanye is with Sunday Service.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been racking up tracks for that category for a long time that I've just been storing.
not new to Lex. You know, she'll store it for 10 years. You know, like fine wine, little age. You know?
So yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, I personally look up to artists like Sade. You know, my game is long term. It's long vision. It's future long. It's lifelong. It's timeless. I'm not about the fads. I've never been about the fads. I've never been about the, you know, here today, gone tomorrow. That's never been me. So I'm grateful to still be alive and do my music and do what I love. And that's the bottom line.
Man,
bottom
Lex,
line.
man. That was so dope, man. That was so dope, you know. But Lex, we do one more thing before we leave. You know. But I think she's already given us her parting words, you know. You know, like, so yeah, I think we can wrap it up, you know.
How about we wrap it up? Like, say bye to us with a little rap.
Hey,
Say bye to everybody with a little rap.
Let's actually do that. Let's do our parts and then she can shut it
Then
out with
she
the rap.
can
You
just
cool with that?
Shut it down.
Are you cool with that?
Are you cool with that?
You're putting me under pressure.
Are you? If you're not, we can cut this part out. It's
So
cool.
good.
It's all good. She's not gonna say it. I'm telling you. But guys, you know, once again, TMM, we came through. We sat down with another dope talent with my girl Njayami. We did it again. No Grenjo still, but still, we got the sauce, you know. So guys, you know, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. You know, shout out to Chad behind the camera.
Thank you so
You know,
much, Chad.
and save the best for last. Thank you so much, Lex Lafoy, guys. Project's out. We're gonna play the music video at the end. You know, she does the thing. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and roll with us. And share. And tell your mother and your uncle and your granny. Lex, it's over to you. Danko.
No pressure, Lex. Just a bye. Like, it doesn't have to be 5 minutes. Just whatever you've got on your heart, babes.
Oh, yeah. So late in the night, I ignite. They call me to bring the light. That's what it is. Lexicon is the biz. You know I'll be here out in TMM. Maybe even take a step with one of them. Light it up and blow it up. We're about to say goodnight, but thank you so much. Love and light.
Love and light.
Thank you, Lex Lafoy. Dango.
It's funny, and I'm introducing Goe. Oh, Lexicon. Hey, Lexicon. They say they don't know you. Hey, they don't know.
Dude, I'm such a Durban girl, semi-dressed, full of cess. Touch it once, then obsessed. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Rasta man, I must confess. You got dope, but I ain't impressed. My crystal tears tell me I'm the best. They read the outcome, I don't trust your test. My queen got game on a board of chess. I fucked with a brother, call it incest. Investors a crew, I triple interest. That a heart on your sleeve, go rock a vest. On a pie chart, I fill the contents. Thanks for all your love and comments.
Oh, hot.
Dude, I'm such a Durban girl, semi-dressed, full of cess. Touch it once, then obsessed. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Like emo, people cut him off cause me no hippo. Ears out the water, have him listening for the sequel. Feeble minds wanna know my genome, creationalists wanna know my real home. But I'd tell him. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl, semi-dressed, full of cess. Touch it once, then obsessed. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Besides, you lukewarm, go jump the fence. The space is mine, it's so immense. Gymnastic, yogi, born to flex. Following instructions, I've been sent. The real me's vexed, now watch me vent. Gemini, primary elements. Yeah. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl, semi-dressed, full of cess. Touch it once, then obsessed. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Your PF got creases, it needs a press. Your tree's got potential, it needs a nest. Where I come from, we digest. Fiber for your diet, you too compressed.
Aye, hot.
Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a Durban girl. Dude, I'm such a. If you don't dig, I couldn't care less. I'm a binary, canary, clefairy, yellow sun child with solar flares. This is my truth, ask me some dares. On my flights up, could you pass the stairs? I land on planes beyond my fears. Lubricate my rebirth with lots of tears. Here's to the 031, cheers.